Hello YouTube, Intuitive Edge here. Hope everybody's doing well. So today, this video might be a little longer than my normal videos. I'm going to try to make it succinct, but I created a new spread. We're going to do, in a little bit here, we're going to move into doing the month of September, what's coming up for the month. And I put together a new spread for it I call it the Four Corners spread. And we're going to be looking at different aspects of society, like political, environmental, societal, the financial sector, business, that kind of thing. And we're going to look at what is happening in each of those for September. And then we're going to be looking at what ties everything together and what gives us hope and what helps us move forward. And then the overall is going to be the overall lesson that we're learning for this month. So I'm excited. It's going to be a really awesome spread. It's a 12 card spread, so it might take me a little time to get through it. I'll try to get through the cards as quick as I can. But first, before we get into that, I want to just talk for just a couple minutes about my style, I guess you could say, of readings. Because I know that that some people have said to me, and people I know and stuff that I do readings for, sometimes I warn people. Sometimes I ramble. Sometimes I'll say something and it's like I have to talk it out. So for those of you that may not be familiar with accessing intuition with using tarot, and I'm hopefully, if you come to my channel, you're a little familiar maybe with these things, which is maybe why you've shown interest in coming to my channel. And I appreciate everybody here. I really do. The way that I access intuition, so for instance, I'll pull a card out and I go off of like sound. I intuit things off of sound vibration. So for instance, if I'm doing a reading for somebody, they say their name, I attach to the sound of the vibration sound. I know that hopefully that doesn't sound too weird, but anyway. So when I pull a card over, I need to like talk it out. I'll say a couple things. And what I'm doing when I'm talking that card out is I'm pulling out the story of what that card is saying until it resonates with what I'm feeling on the inside. So sometimes I'll say what comes out of my mouth, and eventually, we're hoping soon, that it starts to resonate with what I'm feeling, and then it can come together. And then because otherwise a card sometimes won't leave me alone. I'll put a card out, and it's like, I know there's more. I've got to keep talking. So I know that can be maybe frustrating to people listening, or maybe somebody saying, God, she said that already, or, she's repeating herself. So I understand. I get that. And again, I'm I try to make it interesting so that people don't, like completely write me off, but I do have to just say things sometimes until I say it just right, until I get that just right so that it comes out of what I'm feeling inside. Okay. So just to kind of let you know how I process things that come through the cards, it might take me a little time. So again, I'm hoping that that everybody kind of bears with me a little bit and has a little patience. I appreciate you guys that do. I really do. Another thing that I wanted to talk about for just a minute or two is that it's funny how a lot of people, not a lot, but a few, come to me, and especially like in the comments, I'll hear once in a while people will be like, you're too much of a Trump supporter, or you're too much of a GOP supporter, or whatever. And I find that funny because I was reluctant to like Trump. I did not like him at first. I didn't get him, his sarcasm, his humor. I didn't get him at all. And I was kind of put off by him in the primaries. I didn't like him. And it took me a while to come around and kind of see him in a different light. Because I saw what the media was doing to him. And this is, by the way, long before Trump ever, started castigating the media. I didn't like the media long before Trump ever came along. I always knew there's something wrong with the media. They seem to push agendas and narratives, and I always just saw through it. It was something that I've never trusted them, okay, long before Trump ever came along. But when he came along, the media just got absolutely like vicious with him. They focus on one little thing that he said, and they make this huge thing about it, and that's all they focused on. And the accomplishments and the good things he's done over the years and things just never got any attention. And it's like, okay, well, if the media doesn't like him, and I don't like the media, maybe I should be looking a little more at this Trump guy. So I kind of looked into him a little more, and I began to listen to him. I listened to his speeches. I paid attention to what he was saying and why. And I began to kind of have a different heart toward him after a while. It took a little bit of time, but then it was like, okay, now I get him. And now I actually like the guy. I think he's funny. I love it when he trolls the media. Because, anyway. So, just so all of you out there, that think, I'm just this right-winger, don't kid yourselves. That, me on the Trump train did not happen right away at all. But I can't stand the media. For one thing, the media to me, for those who don't know, I would be willing to bet that the people who, sit with their nice business suits and they come on the 6 o'clock news, how many of those do you think are on the payroll of the CIA? I bet you it's a good number of them. The media is an operation. I don't think these people are these altruistic people that came out of college just wanting to make a better world and bring people the news. It's an operation. It is a control operation, in my opinion, okay? That's not just my opinion. There's other people that this is something they say as well, that, Operation Mockingbird in full swing. We don't get unbiased news. We get agenda-driven news. I don't know if any of you have seen those videos. There's one, I'd love to find it. If I do, I'll try to put a link to it. But it's hilarious video of all of, in one 24-hour period, and all these different newscasters from across the country, and they're basically saying the same thing word for word. Now, how does that happen? From LA to New York. How does that happen across the country? Everybody says the exact same thing. It's so scripted, it's phony, and it's fake to me. So that's, okay, that's my spiel on how I feel about the media. I don't like them, okay? I don't like being lied to. I think that's the biggest thing. Especially somebody who's an intuitive like me. When you know that someone's lying to you, or you're faced with something, you just feel like, oh, this doesn't feel right to me. This feels dishonest, or I can just tell something's off. That's how I feel. And so I don't even watch the news. I get my news from all kinds of sources other than the big three news agencies and CNN, MSNBC. I rarely tune into those. Once in a while I will, just to see what's happening, but generally speaking, I don't. So, but all that to say, I just want to tie this in with one more thing, and then we'll get started with our month of September. But this is important because I know people say, you can't be a psychic and support Trump. Well, I think that's ridiculous. There are so many psychics out there. We come in all shapes and colors, and it's your walk of life and how you process your intuition is completely indifferent to your political beliefs. There are psychics who are leftists. There are psychics who are right-wingers, okay? It's how we process our intuition and develop our intuition. That's what it's about. So I just wanted to say that. when I started my channel, I actually wanted to be a counter voice because during the 2016 election cycle, I went in search of psychics on YouTube. And I wanted to hear what people were saying. Who's going to win the election? What are other psychics and people saying? And I would hear all kinds of range of things. Oh, Hillary's going to win. She's going to win 2 terms. She's going to, win in a landslide. And I would hear all this stuff and I'm like, that's not what I'm getting. That's not what I'm sensing, but okay. I try to be, nice. Okay, well. And then it's like, but all of them, it's like every other psychic. It's like, are there any psychics on YouTube that actually, especially after the election and everything came out, is like, okay, who actually spoke the truth? Who actually was in tune with what really happened? So anyway, that was kind of what spurred me to start my channel, because I thought I'd like to be a voice of reason, maybe a different voice. Everybody out there saying the same thing. It's kind of like that news thing I just talked about, where, all these news agencies, they're all saying the same thing. It's like, we need to have different voices of intuition out there that say things maybe in a different way, or bring things out, connected to truth, of course. Truth is what motivates me, because I want to be right, I want to be correct, but I really want to speak what is coming forth, and I want to be accurate. And I think any psychic does, but that's what really motivated me to come forward. Okay, I know I've rambled a lot, but I had to say all that. So I'm gonna pause the video. For you, it'll be like a second, and I'll be right back. But I'm gonna pause the video and sit for a few minutes. I'm gonna tune myself in, and we're gonna look at September, because I am so excited about this spread. It's a long one, but we'll try to get through it quickly. Thank you all for stepping in with me. I appreciate you being here. I'll be right back. Okay, so I spent some time in prayer and meditation, and I'm going to cut the deck here. We shuffled the deck already. Cut the deck. All right, so what's going to be happening for us in September, this month ahead? So we've got our political, and then we've got our environmental. And I'll go over each of these too, what these corners, what we're going to be looking at with them. So political, environmental, societal, and financial. So political, we know what that means. So we've got the priestess card. This is a card of intuition and wisdom, knowledge. She's upside down. She's on the reversal. So it could be some things to do with wisdom and knowledge. Let's see what's crossing it. So this is telling me that there's going to be some things coming out politically that are hard, that we're going to find difficult to process. Okay, so there's going to be some things politically that's going to be hard for us to look at, hard for us to want to digest. It might be painful. It might be difficult for people to, maybe there's corruption somewhere, and people don't want to think that this person on the court, or this politician, or this senator, or whatever, could be embroiled in such a thing. It's going to be difficult, okay? So let's see what else we get. Next we have environmental. This is like, could be things in the environment. It could be severe weather type, if there's an event or something that might be coming. This would be where it would be. So with the upside down 5 of Earth, this is like this is the feeling of being on the outside looking in. Not quite feeling at home. Interesting. And seeking a balance with that. A balance of some kind. A balance with nature. And again, something's out of balance there. I may come back to that as well. I'm going to keep going. So this is societal. What's going to be going on now? With this card, we have the 6 of Sky. This is a card of walking away from a fight. Knowing when to leave a bad situation. This could be skirmishes, I don't know what to say, civil unrest, that's kind of an overused term, but there could be some unrest in parts of the country perhaps. And this is like walking away or leaving. There may be some, this is actually a healing card. We have the 10 of Earth on top of that energy of needing to walk away or leave a bad situation. And this is like coming back together, back with family. So that's actually good societally. If there is unrest or there may be a desire to come back to one's roots or come back to a situation, a safety, a family that can be supportive and nurturing after having maybe been beat up a little bit. Come back to family. Okay. Financial sector. This could be stock market. This could be business, corporate, finance, anything like that. We have the Sun card. That's a nice card to have. It is upright. We may have some good news maybe coming in the jobs numbers or the financial sector. Some changes maybe. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. Now it's crossed by the Devil card, the Demon Cat, in this deck. So that tells me that kind of puts a damper on the sun a little bit there, doesn't it? You've got the sun, the nice, warm, friendly sun, and then we have this control and this kind of a darkness coming over. So I'm wondering if maybe the stock market might have a little bit of trouble this month, or some type of tech sector or in some sort of industry or some type of the economy. That's what it is. The economy. Now, this might be a little bit of a challenge in this sector as well. For September, there could be some challenges. It's been good. It's been growing. The economy has. But we've got a little bump in the road ahead, okay? I don't know what that is exactly. I'm not an Armageddon type of reader, okay? I don't do those kind of readings. So even if there is something on the horizon that might be a challenge or difficult, I'm not the end of the world type of reader. So there's plenty of those out there, but that's not me. But this does portend a difficulty or a challenge of kind of a dark nature, a dark, difficult nature. Okay. So what ties everything together? What ties this all together? We are being shown that the prisons that let me put it metaphorically. When we're in a prison of our own making, sometimes we don't realize the walls we put up when we engage other people. We don't realize the ways in which we are not authentic with ourselves. This is an image of showing us where our weaknesses are and how we allow ourselves to be enslaved, controlled, manipulated. So when you have this in what ties everything together, this is showing us, some people say, oh, that's a negative card, the 8 of Sky. It's you're in prison, you're a prison of your own making. But the way I see it, with it being on the reversal, is that this is an opportunity to see the role that we play in creating our own destiny and how we play that role and what we're here to learn. So take this as an opportunity when you see things that maybe are difficult. Maybe the economy might have a little trouble, or there may be some difficulties politically speaking that are hard to look at. Those are opportunities for us to say, you know what, maybe I need to change my focus. Maybe I need to find a way to connect with friends and family and nature and not get so embroiled in this stuff that I can't have a life or that it sucks the life out of me. So find ways to see how you're triggered maybe if you're triggered by this type of stuff, these are simply opportunities for growth. Okay, that's one way to look at it. It's an opportunity to grow. What gives us hope? Now, so that's interesting. We have the heart, kind of the heartbreak or hardship or sad card. So this is an opportunity for us to heal emotionally. Any old stuff that comes up and we get triggered. The hope is that we can see how we're triggered and how things play on us and what gets us upset, and learn healthy ways, hopefully, so that those techniques, so that those things don't knock us off our center and completely, make us crazy and shatter our world. Some people get really affected by stuff going on around them. And any sage will tell you, the way of the masters is, and I think the Dalai Lama has written books on this, that it's not about being happy. It's not about your environment changing so that you're happy. It's being happy no matter what's going on in your environment. And being connected to God in a way that things don't rattle you and shake you to your core. And it's about rising above that, having a higher vibration, as some call it. But this is an opportunity to heal emotionally. This is about recognizing where you're stuck, where you might be allowing things to get to you, and this is healing from it, emotionally healing from it. The bottom card we have our overview. This is the lesson, and we have a sea tom. This is a messenger. This is a messenger. Again, sea cards are about emotions and healing emotionally. So we have the cups up there, the cups card here, the sea card. This is on the position of what moves us forward. And again, this is being willing to heal emotionally. So there may be some stuff coming up this month for people that might be challenging, might be hard. Allow yourself to heal emotionally, and to not be triggered, and to not just react to your situation, but to take a step back if you have to, gather your thoughts, and know and connect with God, and know that there's a higher purpose to things, and that things will get better, okay? This may just be a temporary bump in the road, as I mentioned, maybe. And we'll see what comes up. But if there's changes or shifts, we have to roll with it at some degree. You have to be a little flexible. You have to be like that tree that bends with the wind and doesn't just snap off at the first storm that comes by. So keep that in mind. This may be kind of a testy month. I sat for a little bit last week, just kind of thinking about the month ahead. And I had some intuition about September. And I had a feeling that there may be something big coming. And this was about a week ago. And it kind of wouldn't leave me alone. So I think there could be some things coming that may be challenging for this month. So just be aware of that. And don't let it devastate you or knock you off your center. Life will go on. And there will be a way made through around it. Okay? Just take what rolls at you and roll with it. And ask God, your guides, your angels to help you navigate your way through. Underneath it all, this is the lesson. So what's our lesson? We have the Two of Sea. This is like a partnership card. And it's on the reversal, kind of a tough partnerships. This might be telling us the lesson is to disconnect from negative people in your life. Maybe on a personal level, you have some friends or associates, or maybe you work in a toxic work environment, or maybe you're feeling like you're stuck and you've got negative people around you, and you're just having a hard time. If that's you, this card is about disconnecting and plugging back in to healthy relationships. But it's going to take a little bit of work of the heart on your part to allow yourself to say, you know what, I deserve better. I don't need to have these toxic things in my life, and I want to change. Wanting to change, or at least admitting that, you know, I'd really like something better. That's the first step in creating something better in life. So take that step if that's you, on a personal level. If you need to change your surroundings, maybe you need to leave a bad situation. So follow your intuition and do what you need to do. If you need to move to a new city and start over, you know, take that step. If that's what you're being guided to, or you feel like you just need to get away for a while. It could just be getting away for a vacation. Maybe you just need a break. Take that break if you need a break, and allow yourself to have some time to process. So just remember, we're all in this together. September is going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. Above all, love yourselves, be good to yourselves, and be good to your families and the people around you. And oneness. All right. I love you all. I hope you're having a great day. And we'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you sticking with me and allowing me to indulge myself a little bit. I did want to explain a few things at the beginning, so thank you for listening. And take care. We'll see you next time. This is Intuitive Edge. Until next time. Bye-bye.